Hello and welcome. My name is Lauren Gala, and today I'm here with the chair of the Teddy Committee, Danielle Allington, and I'm also here with the co-chair of the Teddy Committee, Jenny Keeler. And today we're just going to be talking about the Teddi Dance for Love and how it's one of the biggest events that Fisher has on campus. So hi guys, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So just to begin, can you guys tell me each about how you got involved in the Teddi Dance for Love?
Well, the Teddi Dance for Love is one of the reasons why I actually applied to Fisher. I came here on a tour, and they were setting up for the dance, and I got really excited for it. And so as a freshman, I joined, and then I became captain of Locks of Love my sophomore year and decided to apply for vice chair for my junior year.
Oh, wow. That's a great story.
Mine's kind of similar, coming to Fisher as a freshman, I really wanted to get involved, and the Teddi Dance for Love I knew was one of the big events here, so it sounded something cool to look into, and I decided to join as a freshman as well, and sophomore year became a captain of one of the subcommittees as well. And then last year I was the vice chair and kind of got trained to be the chair for this year. So.
That's so cool that you guys both started your freshman year and you both really knew that this is something that you really wanted to get a part of. That's so great. So you talked about a little bit about Locks for Love. Can you just explain a little bit about what Locks for Love is and stuff like that?
Locks of Love is an organization that makes wigs for children who have had cancer. And we have a subcommittee on the Teddy Committee that actually collects hair all year, 6 inches or more. And they collect it and send it out to Locks of Love at the end of the year. And last year we collected about 1,200 inches of hair, which was really cool.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of wigs. So how many wigs can you make with that?
You need 6 inches to make a wig, so that divided by 6.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot of wigs. So
Yeah.
you guys definitely that's a big charitable donation.
Yeah.
So can you give us a little bit of background for people who don't know what the Teddi Dance for Love is, just how it started and, what the proceeds go to and stuff like that?
Yeah, so this is the 31st year of the dance, and about 33 years ago, Gary Mervis, who is one of Fisher's football coaches, he's still here, his daughter, Teddi, Elizabeth, her nickname was Teddi, was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and that was the early stages of cancer findings. There wasn't really a lot of technology back then to kind of help things with that. So he created Camp Good Days and Special Times, a camp out on Keeler Lake for kids affected by cancer and their family and stuff, just so that Teddi could have a normal summer. She did end up passing away, and he decided to write a book, and Lou Bettino, a previous professor from Fisher, wrote that book for him. And he was teaching a class at the time, and some of the students felt they needed to do something. And so that's kind of how the dance started. And that year they raised a couple $1,000s, like 100 participants, and it's really grown exponentially from that. Last year we raised like $45,000 and had over 500 participants. And what the money actually goes to is we send some kids from camp and young adults on a trip to Florida. They get to go to Disney World and the beach and everything like that. So that's what the money we raise actually funds. So
the money doesn't go to Camp Good Days and Special Times, or
well,
it does?
Camp Good Days puts on the trip. So
oh, okay.
It's children and young adults who go to camp, and they kind of handpick some kids and young adults who get to go on this trip. So.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I actually have a lake house on Keeler Lake, so we live right down the road from Camp Good Days and Special Times. Yeah, so it's really cool. So I've seen the camp, from afar. So that's a really cool organization. So how exactly do you fundraise for the event?
Well, dancers register for the dance, and we ask that everyone tries to raise $50. Obviously, we're not going to turn anyone away. We want everyone to come. But the more money we raise, the better, the more funds that we can give to camp. We reach out to some local businesses and corporations, try and get them to help us sponsor. Most people want to help when they see that we're funding a trip for kids with cancer. So
we do a lot of little events throughout the year, too. We have a Battle of the Bands every year, and we do Five Guys fundraisers, Uno's. Different restaurants help us out. So
it sounds like you guys don't have any problem fundraising at all, or?
I mean, it's definitely a group act. The more everyone can bring to the table, the better. So.
Yeah. So how does the community get involved in the event besides just like fundraising and stuff like that?
Well, like I said, we have a lot of businesses and corporations that come in. Anyone is welcome to come to the dance. It's not just a Fisher thing. Everyone's welcome.
Oh, I didn't know it wasn't just a Fisher thing. Anyone can come?
Yeah, the
anyone
dance
can
is
Oh,
open.
wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow, that's so cool. So does the Teddy Dance for Love go on at other schools, or is it something that's like specific to Fisher that only Fisher does?
A couple other schools that are associated with Camp Good Days, they put on similar events. We're the only Teddy Dance for Love.
Oh,
but,
okay.
I know that Ithaca College has, I believe it's called a Dance for Courage, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
But they do something kind of similar, and I know other schools and places do great fundraisers for camp as well. So.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, high schools as well. I went to high school in Syracuse, and I know Fayetteville Manlius High School does a big dance for Camp Good Days. So,
And this
That's
isn't
cool.
the only event that benefits Camp Good Days and special times at Fisher. I think that other events at Fisher do too. Do you know what events those are? Or
Do you want to take it? The Courage Bowl is a really big event for camp.
Because I knew there was one, I just wasn't sure which one it
Yeah.
was.
Yep, the Courage Bowl. Camp's kind of taking it on, but Fisher plays a big role in it, which all the proceeds go to camp from that as well. So.
It's such a great cause. So how do you promote the Teddy Dance at Fisher?
Well, we have our huge 100 days celebration. I'm sure most people on the campus
Yeah.
saw it this year. We just kind of decorate the whole campus, make sure everyone knows that Teddy's 100 days away. We just made a new website that OIT helped us out with a lot. It's teddy.sjfc.edu. You can go on there and find out a ton of information about the dance. You can register to be a dancer or volunteer on the website. So we just kind of try and get our word out there we have a 102-person committee this year.
Wow.
So try and get them to help spread our word as well.
So how do you guys go about organizing like a 102-person committee? I mean, that's one of the bigger events that there is on campus. So how is it hard to organize, 102 people?
I mean, it was hard to place them in subcommittees. That took
Yeah.
a while because there's so many of them, but we've got it pretty under control now. Our meetings are pretty scheduled, and we know exactly what we're doing, and the committee jumped into it, and we're all ready to start getting ready for the dance.
So what are some of the subcommittees that are in the Teddy Dance for Love? You mentioned Locks for Love. and
Yep,
then
we
what are the
have
other ones?
a special events committee, and they kind of plan the events that are happening outside of Teddy. So like Jenny mentioned, the Battle of the Bands that we had, they're going to host Get Ready for Teddy, which is 10 days before the dance, so you can look out for that. We also have an internal committee, which they're responsible for all the decorations. So when the 100 Days campus was plastered, they made a lot of those. The dance, all the decorations, they make those. We have a couple different subcommittees that reach out to people in the community. So some reach out to high schools and other colleges, groups like that, and some are reaching out to businesses to help us fundraise. We have a finance subcommittee. Obviously, our goal is to raise a lot of money, so they help us with that goal.
We have a networking subcommittee that reaches out to faculty and staff because we want them to be involved. Some of them have been to the dance since the beginning, so we really want them to keep coming.
So how do you guys promote, well, you promote obviously in Fisher by doing the 100 Days and everything. How do you guys promote outside of Fisher? Because you said that not only can Fisher students go to the dance, but also people in the community can go. So how do you reach out to members of the community?
Like I said, with the businesses and things like that, we also have a subcommittee directed towards getting the alumni back to come to the dance. And you know, a lot of Fisher alumni have come to the dance and things like that, and now they've branched out and do new things, so they can help us spread that word. You know, they have their new jobs, and they can help us in that aspect. So keeping in touch.
Yeah, would you say that the majority of the people who go to the dance, well, obviously the majority are probably Fisher students. How many like people from the community would you say attend the dance? Like 10%?
Yeah, I don't really know. I think, like I said, the alumni bring a lot of people back, and the alumni are definitely, I mean, last year after the dance at 9 o'clock at night when everyone's drained, a lot of alumni stayed and helped us take down everything. So
Oh, that's so nice.
yeah, so even the people who aren't still at Fisher, you know, a lot of them still come and do help us out. So
That's so nice. So say we were at the Teddi Dance right now. We'll say last year's Teddi Dance. We're mentally putting ourselves there. What would it look like if we were there? So say we're there, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. What would the scene look like?
I think 1 o'clock in the morning, everyone's still pretty high energy, you know. Everyone, it's only a couple hours in compared to the big scheme of it.
Yeah.
We try and keep things going as much. We plan different theme hours and different activities to happen. Get the place all decorated.
Lots of balloons.
So what were some of the themes you guys had last year?
We have country, diva, boy band.
Oh, wow.
We have live bands that come. This year we have some new things that we're doing. Do you have?
I'm trying to think. They all seem to blur together after years, but we have, you know, top 40s hour, and we obviously there's lots of food time, so
Yeah.
got to take that. Like Jenny said, we have a lot of live bands, especially Big Tune and the Fishermen from Fisher, so they come and play for us. We reach out to some of the alumni and use songs that, you know, they heard during their Teddi Dances, so we have an hour for that. I know last year we had Beaver Fever. So.
Oh, wow. You guys get creative.
We have a line dance that we do throughout the dance. We teach everybody who comes to the dance at the very beginning this dance, and it'll play throughout the dance, and it kind of gets everybody together, especially during the times when people are just so exhausted, and then the song comes on and everybody just runs out on the floor and does the dance.
So what do you think is people's favorite hour or favorite theme?
I think Country Hour is a pretty big hit.
That's
we get
pretty good one. Yeah.
Terry Clifford from WBEE comes in and actually hosts that hour for us, so that's pretty fun and interactive.
Yeah.
A lot of people will get dressed up for different hours, so it's fun to see what people like the best.
Oh, people like wear costumes and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's so great. People really get into this.
Yeah.
So at like 6 o'clock in the morning and 7 o'clock in the morning, are people sleeping, or how high energy is the dance at that point?
People do sleep.
Yeah.
We are trying to make it this year. We put some good music at those hours, so people won't want to sleep and will want to keep dancing, but people will sleep.
I'd say 7 a.m. till about noon is, I think that's the hardest battle to get through. Once you hit noon, it's kind of like you can see the end, so people are starting to
So the
liven
dance
up again.
starts at like what time every year?
8 p.m. Friday night and goes till 8 p.m.
Yeah,
Saturday.
And so how do students, or how many students at Fisher participate in Teddi in some way, whether they're on the committee or actually just coming to dance?
Well, last year I know we had over 500 participants, and I know that includes people outside of Fisher too, but we also, the dance can't be put on without volunteers to help us out. So a lot of people, you know, they're not into dancing for 24 hours,
Right,
so
yeah.
they'll volunteer to work a registration table, or we reach out for a lot of EMTs, you know. 24 hours is a long time, so we need to make sure safety is there. So a lot of people will volunteer to be EMTs, and a lot of students have reached out to us that way as well.
So would you say that the event is growing as a whole, or just kind of staying at a good pace? Or
I definitely think it's growing. Like I
it's
said,
growing.
it started out with like 100 participants. You can just see how much money we've raised, how many people are really getting involved in the dance. So
great. So how many Fisher students would you say get involved? Because I know that, you know, RSA, our Resident Students Association, and they'll put on like individual things, and they'll say, okay, well, 20 of us are going to go to the dance. So how do you guys respond to that? Do you like appreciate that, or?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
We look out to a lot of other clubs on campus to, you know, help support our cause, and a lot of the clubs on campus have helped us out. You know, RSA, SGA, SAB, they usually help us sponsor things, and we're always looking for just even little support with just clubs saying, you know, go to Teddi, it's a great cause. So I think a lot of clubs
Yeah.
help us out. So
you guys kind of all work together.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
say that it's really nice that, they work together and support your cause, since it is, obviously such a great thing, not only
Definitely.
for Fisher, obviously, but also, for the community. So can you tell us a little bit about Teddy this year? So what is going to be like some of the hours, like some of the themes? Do you guys have any like surprises or anything coming up?
Well, we're starting to finalize schedule-wise. Like I said, Big Tuna and the Fishermen will definitely be there Saturday at 2:30 p.m. For anyone who's been there in the past, a couple years ago, 441, it's a local band of teenage kids. They're coming, and that was a pretty big fan favorite a couple years ago. So they're coming back 11 o'clock Friday night. A lot of the same theme hours. We're kind of brainstorming some new ideas, just to keep people on their toes. What else? At this point, it's kind of a well-oiled machine. So any new things that we can bring in are great. But
do you guys reach out to Fisher at all for new ideas, like to say, what do you want to see at the dance?
Yeah, we do. SGA told us about this thing that they did at a conference, and we're going to use it for one of our SAB, sorry, for one of our theme hours. It's called AV Adventures, and it's kind of cool. You wear headphones, and everybody's doing something different, but we're doing it for an hour at the dance, and we're going to see how it goes.
Oh, wow, that sounds so fun. So what is your ultimate goal for the event as a whole? I don't know, what year are you guys in school?
I'm a junior.
I'm a senior.
You're a senior, so you're kind of stepping down. So what would you like to see Teddy sort of become as you guys, sort of, get ready to leave and new chairs start to come in?
Well, this year for money-wise, we've set a goal of $48,000. Last year we raised over $45,000, so I want to kick that up a little bit. Really to get as many people as we can involved. And kind of as the chair this year, I just want to make sure that everyone's enjoying what they're doing. The meetings get kind of long sometimes, it's a huge event, so there's a lot to do. But just keeping people involved and wanting to be there and making sure that it's not something that's going to stop in the future. So.
Great. So what do you think that students and members of the community get out of being involved in an event like this?
Well, it's really hard to explain the dance to someone. Like, as a freshman, I was like, oh, you go dance for 24 hours, but you really don't know about the experience until you go and actually are involved in it, Going to the dance my freshman year, it was literally like nothing I've ever experienced before, especially camp brings some kids out from camp, and when they come, it's like a totally different story. It just totally brings the energy up, and it's hard to explain without being there. So.
No, I definitely know what you mean, because I know when they bring the kids out, the Camp Good Days and Special Times kids out onto the field, like everyone goes crazy because it's nice to see actually, what people are getting involved in, like who you're helping, because it kind of puts a face to the cause. So you definitely think that students, get a sense of satisfaction out of, supporting, kids with cancer and stuff like that. It's such a great cause, it's so great that they've been doing it for how many years now?
This will be the 31st dance.
31st dance, wow. So is there any contact information anyone can have if they want to get involved?
Definitely. So like I said, our new website, everyone should check it out. It's teddy.sjfc.edu. We have an email, teddy@sjfc.edu. Anyone's welcome to email us to get more information. Our website's pretty good this year. You can find out, when we need volunteers. You can be a dancer, meet who's on the subcommittees. So I'd definitely check that out.
Wow, great. Well, that's actually all the questions I have for you guys, so I really wish you the best of luck. It sounds like it's going to be a great event this year.
Thanks.
So good luck with all of your preparations.
Thank you.
Hope to see you there.